Hello, welcome to this personal sharing session. My name is Jason, and I am thrilled to share my own story regarding academics, international experience, and career through the lens of a School of Creative Media alum in the following 15 minutes or so. Let me introduce myself again. I am Jason Che, born and bred in Hong Kong, graduated from the School of Creative Media with a Bachelor of Science in Creative Media degree back in 2018. Now, I am a master's candidate at New York University, majoring in interactive telecommunications. You can call me a coder, a designer, or a maker, or you can call me a creative technologist. If you cannot resonate with this title yet, I hope you will have a clearer picture by the end of my talk. Back in my high school days, my horrifyingly conservative parents forced me to study accounting and economics. That was a terrible idea. However, my dislike towards studying business manifested that I am 100% correct to follow my passion for something else. Fortunately, I seeded my interest and talent way back in elementary school. I like tech gadgets, for example, smartphones and computers, like many other kids, and I studied how they work. I appreciate how products, especially software at the time, are thoughtfully designed and user-friendly. Last but not least, under the influence of one of the best Hollywood blockbusters, Iron Man, I started experimenting with computer visual effects and videography. And that's why I fought against my parents' plan and applied to the School of Creative Media. Thankfully, I got accepted and started a brand new chapter of my life. Without further ado, let's talk through all the amazing happenings throughout my time at SCM. In the summer of 2014, I was admitted to the School of Creative Media. Multiple uncharted disciplines that I would never imagine studying were introduced to the young and inexperienced me. I learned the basics of animation, photography, and videography from the Creative Media Studio class. I studied contemporary arts and its origin. Above all, I was first introduced to computer programming, which later changed my life forever. Just in case you're curious about how my portfolio that I submitted looked like, here's a quick run through. It was a 10-pager. I've got a very unpolished UI UX design project here. To put it simply, UI UX stands for User Interface and User Experience. It is a commonly used acronym in the tech/design industry. I developed this project after TSE and finished it within 2 weeks, from ideation to the documentation. I would definitely suggest our applicants to include a bigger scaled project that demonstrates your creativity and real passion. It might not be your work from your art classes at school. It can be completely experimental, something that you haven't tried but have longed to realize. Some video and After Effects work I did in high school. Please be reminded to include a link and screenshots for each video. An experimental music sheet with drawings on it, and my DIY Iron Man helmet made out of paper and resin. Some graphic design works and drawings, and some other minor but relevant works that I wanted to show. Here's a piece of advice for all the applicants. Please be honest to yourself and show who you are, what you like, and what you're good at with your portfolio. Reading someone's portfolio is like observing someone's mind explicitly. It is tremendously personal. I'm sure that our professors will have a very clear picture of who you are from a good portfolio. For more details about preparing and submitting your portfolio, please visit our website and check out some videos that we prepared. Moving forward, in the summer of 2015, thankfully I had a chance to travel to the United States with my family for a month. I traveled across 9 different states. I've been to New York City, Las Vegas, and most of all San Francisco. The San Francisco Bay Area has been the cradle of technology giants and startups like Google, Apple, and Facebook. The tech fight presented by the Silicon Valley was breathtaking, and I was filled with the aspiration of being a part of it since then. Luckily, I was doing a good job at computing during my first year at SCM. That explains why I decided to enroll the Bachelor of Science program when I got back from the States. I grind through all the coding classes and started to understand what I could do with my programming and DIY skills. 1 year later, I exhibited my very first interactive installation arcade game publicly in SIG Playful Media Showcase. SIG, the Special Interest Group, is an organization run by a bunch of passionate Bachelor of Science students, and they hold public exhibitions every single year. The project my teammates and I exhibited is called Run Fender, in Cantonese 走拐, is an interactive game where users run on a treadmill that is electronically connected to the computer to play a tempo run-like endless running game that resembles the experience of a vendor hawker escaping from an environmental protection department officer. It was surprisingly well received. So then, in the fall of the same year, I took part in another public exhibition representing CityU with Run Fender. Shout out to my professors Pang and Ryan, it was again a big success. I was in several papers. I was also on the radio. As I tasted the very first bite of reward, I was thinking it was probably the right timing to grind and prepare for my great expectations, set my final destination to be the United States of America. Thus, I channeled the impetus to applying competitions that are more internationally recognized. Just like this one, the Disney Imagination Design Competition. Gratefully, my team made it to the final. Despite not winning the championship, we learned from the quote-unquote Imagineers, which is Imagine plus Engineer. And we also presented our design solution to Disney executives. Later, thanks to CityU, I participated in the CityU Employers Luncheon to demonstrate our project to Dr. Alan Seaman, the father of the Ocean Park, and Lan Kwai-fong, and also get socialized with the representatives from the industry. In the summer of 2017, I landed my very first internship as an interactive software engineer at CCCDI, a digital agency founded by one of our SCM alumni. I made mobile apps, AR apps, and also websites there. Back then, I started to enjoy writing software in such an open and creative environment. The internship ended fast, and right after the internship, I flew all the way to London for summer schooling at Goldsmiths University of London. Goldsmiths is one of the top 10 design and art universities in the world. Lucky enough, SCM has worked with Goldsmiths to bring the creative computing program to life. As students, we won. The environment there was very pleasant, chill, somehow serene, which is drastically different from Hong Kong. I learned to code an audio visualizer like this. And also put together and program a circuit like this. School aside, we traveled like any other first-time UK tourist. We visited the iconic Tower Bridge, the colossal Tate Modern Contemporary Art Museum. We went punting in Cambridge and hiking at San Francisco's Cliff. It turned out to be the most amazing and eye-opening summer that I spent throughout the 4 years of college, and I would definitely recommend our fellow students to seize the chance to travel abroad. Another summer has gone away, and here it came, one of the most intellectually stimulating and significant turning points of my study and career path, the MIT Entrepreneurship and Maker Skills Integrator. I teamed up with some of the brightest hardware technologists from the prestigious MIT, which is the best engineering school in the world, and also students from other universities from Hong Kong. Exploiting our mens at manus, the mind enhanced in modern English. We learned through field trips, lectures, and brainstorming sessions, and eventually fleshed out a working smart home device and a solid business plan in just 2 weeks. Thanks to our synergetic team made out of different expertise like computer science, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, business, and design, we won the championship. This bootcamp experience magically sparked the hardware inventing potential that lives inside me, revitalized the business knowledge I learned from high school, and most importantly, ignited my entrepreneurial spirit, which is propelling me further ever since. I came to realize that I desperately wanted a hardware design, coding, fabricating, or inventing career, and it absolutely makes sense when I look back to my childhood hobbies. However, the hardware startup landscape in Hong Kong is still relatively undeveloped in comparison to some other technologically advanced regions. It was kind of a pipe dream to land a hardware-related job when I was graduating. He is, of course, Jack Ma. I didn't work for Alibaba, instead I worked for one of the subsidiary companies of Alibaba. It's got South China Morning Post. SCMP is not the SCMP that I used to know when I was playing their Sudoku games in high school anymore. It is now a world-facing English digital media company led by Harvard grad, ex-Google, ex-Spotify, plus very young man from Silicon Valley. And he did run the company like a tech company. We've got a fantastic office, which has a bar where we have unlimited beer on every Friday evening. And also all the entertainment facilities you would love. It was such a privilege to be a software engineer there. What more could I ask for, right? However, there was always a voice in my head that kept reminding me whenever you feel too comfortable in the environment that you have situated in, it is time for you to pack up and start another adventure. And I felt like it was time to take on the world beyond Hong Kong. I ended up pursuing further education at New York University. I'm currently a master candidate at the program ITP, which stands for Interactive Telecommunications Program. Truth be told, ITP is a place where technology, design, and art converge. Pretty much like the Bachelor of Science program in SCM, but I would say ITP puts a little bit more emphasis on technical subjects like shop machine skills, electronics, and artificial intelligence. Like I said, I consider myself a creative technologist, so what does a creative technologist do? Recently, I've been working on one of my projects that I'm most proud of. I named it Optimize, a tailor-made mouse designed to fit everyone's hands. Harnessing photogrammetry technology, computer-aided design software, printed circuit board design and fabrication, 3D printing, microcontroller programming, UX design tools, and software programming, I pull off a working mouse with a tailor-fit shell which is perfectly ergonomic to your own hand size and grip, as well as a web app for the project, all by myself. Driven by the entrepreneurial spirit that was ignited a year ago, I have been actively seeking funding to transform the project into a real business. Personal projects aside, I'm now working as a visiting UX and business consultant at Blockstack, a $94 million funded blockchain and cryptocurrency startup in the quest of creating a new decentralized internet. Such a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity is being facilitated by New York University's Stern MBA program and Union Square Venture. Since February, I have become a quote-unquote blockchain crypto specialist who started to see blockchain through the lens of a business executive instead of an engineer's or a designer's perspective. One last thing before goodbye. After 6 years of hustle and bustle, I eventually came to such a realization. At the very beginning of your struggle, being interdisciplinary, learning and understanding many things at a time can immensely confuse you. You might hit a point where you think you are pretty good at many things, or you doubt you are mediocre or even bad at everything. However, if you follow your passion and karma, your unique path somehow shows up, and you would appreciate every bit of what you acquainted from different seemingly irrelevant disciplines coming into place. Being an interdisciplinary artist, designer, technologist, you possess a rock-solid foundation which empowers you to expand horizontally, conveniently, via exploring adjacent subjects. Now you can never be a specialist at one impressive expertise, but you've become a specialist who connects many expertise to create something unprecedented and possibly world-changing. Just like the Leonardo da Vinci, who we all know. If I have to conclude, being interdisciplinary with a shape, it must be a diamond, and now you are irreplaceable. Thank you so much for your time. Hope you enjoyed my sharing. If you are curious about me, visit my website or drop me an email. Thank you, and I will hopefully see you again. Peace.